All right, hi, and welcome to another installment of Math Basics of Mr. Besh. Today we are talking about stem and leaf. This is another plot. This is not so much a graph, even though it's labeled as such right here. The goal and the objective of this video is to teach you how to A, read a stem and leaf graph, and then talk about why we have it in the first place, okay? The stem and leaf graph is basically a graphic organizer. What it does is it takes your numbers and already has them listed in order from smallest to largest. If you have to create a stem and leaf graph, then that's basically what you're doing. You're going to take your numbers, you're going to put them in order from smallest to largest, and you're going to create the table like what you see here. Now, when we refer to the stem and the leaf, this is what we're talking about. This is the stem column right here, and then what happens is the next column that you have is this right here is your leaf column. What you need to do slowly but surely is take your stem in each row and combine it with your leaf. Now, you're not going to add or subtract or multiply or divide. You're just going to basically put them together. So, for instance, if I want to find out the smallest number in my data set, what I do is I go to the very first row that I have, which is this guy right there, my very first row. And then what I do is I take the number in the stems column, which is 0, and I jot it down. And then all I do is take the very next number in the leaves column over here, which is 3, and put them together. And now when you have this 0 and 3 simplified to just plain old 3. So 3 is the smallest number that I have in my data set. Now notice there's another 3, and then there'd be a 7 here, and then there'd be in 2 eights, not just one, but 2. Now a key element to this is that when you go through the entire row, you then go down to the row below that, and now in this situation or scenario, my next row right here, now what happens is when I start putting together my stems and my leaf, my stem is going to be a 1. So now you put it together with a 0, so my next number in my set is going to be a 10. And then you got the 5 here, which is going to make a 15. And then what you got is you got the 7, which is going to make 17. This is all the numbers that start with the 1. This group here is all the numbers that start with the 2. This whole group here is all the numbers that start with 3. And this group right here is all the numbers that start with 4. But even after this explanation, I still get students from time to time that do not understand this concept. And it's pretty basic. One of the questions that pops up, and I'll say, hey, looking and using the data on this graph, what is the mode? Now, students will remember and they'll say, oh, okay, I got the mode. The mode's the number that appears the most. So when I look at my graph, there are 5 8, so 8 must be the mode. And that is not the case. See, these guys are 8. There are 2 of them. But these guys down here are not 8. They're actually 38 because you got to use the number in the stems column. All right. So this is essentially how you read that stem and leaf graph. And like I said, it's a graphic organizer. It helps us put the numbers in order from smallest to largest. And it's real useful when we're finding our basic stats. I hope you found this both helpful and informative.